Ben, you all right, pal? Testing, Papa modulation.
The man went over the mountain.
Back to back, belly to belly, bumper to bumper, wrestle rack rules. Oh yeah! Little premature there, Ben. I am here with Millie Vanilli of the wrestling world.
Girl, you know. How you doing, Kielgood?
I'm all right.
We got Wrestletricity 2 right around the corner.
1 week away from Wrestletricity 2. Benjamin Halllifax, what do we have on the big update show here tonight?
We've got big stuff happening. I'll tell you one thing we got. We've got the long-awaited interview from the immortal one, my dear friend, Baba.
Oh, my... The Sal. Refer to the production room, please. Refer to the production room.
Also, we've got some big, we're going to take a look back. We're going to go way back, Kielgood. Way back to the early days. We're focusing on the main event for Wrestletricity 2.
We are.
It's Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek on one side. It's Mark Stagg and Metal Bob on the other side. Former best of friends ripped apart. And now for the
I don't know if you got a computer, but if you do, you got to get on the web pages of these men and read the comments. Oh, my God. Devastating Derek has his view on the story. Bombshell Billy's got his. The family has theirs. Everyone's got their view on this big match. It's all on the web pages.
That's right, and I'll give you my personal opinion on my very web page as well,
Yes.
the House of Halifax.
Yes.
All sorts of things. We've got live via satellite interviews with Bombshell Billy,
Yes.
Devastating Derek,
Yes.
Mark Stagg,
Yes.
and Metal Bob.
Wow.
Magtastic McCracken is here as well. The whole family. Well, sans Mr. Big. I don't know where he is, but the rest of the family is all here, and they are here to make some comments about Wrestletricity.
They are indeed. We've got old footage. We're going back to Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek, Mark Stagg, Metal Bob's days in training camp. Their days of wrestling in their backyards.
Okay.
We've got footage of them in their early careers.
That's right, and we also have special footage
of Mark Stagg.
Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek, and Metal Bob,
Yes.
back in the days where they would practice they would be in talent competitions,
Yes.
and they would practice in talent. We have archived tapes of the practices for these talent competitions, and we're going to show you tonight just why the Honky Tonk Man is one of Mark Stagg's biggest idols.
Benjamin Halifax III. It's Wrestletricity 2. Talk about a card and a half. Run down it, pal. Run down it.
The main event, of course, we told you, is Mark Stagg and Metal Bob.
Yes.
One-on-one for the first time against Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek.
For the Intercontinental Television Championship, El Diablo Blanco.
The champion
will take on
the challenger,
MC Psycho
Shawn
McCracken. Also,
former heavyweight champion of the world.
The newcomers, the Predators, are on the big bill.
The
Against
Predators
the
are going to be there
Thunder
against the Thunder Tiger
and the Mystic.
Also one-on-one, Dalton Payne, the former Intercontinental Television Champion, will take on Mr. Big, the returning Mr. Big.
Wow. It's all coming up.
Remind me to ask the family about that later.
What?
Nothing.
The match it took 13 years to make. Holy shnikes! You asked for it, and you've got it. United Wrestling Alliance, Post Office Box 54, North Syracuse, New York. 13212. Or, Benjamin.
You can email us.
Of course.
At ringmasters@webtv.net. Get online, get on the UWA homepage, www.angelsfire.com/ny/UWA Ring, all caps right there, UWA Ring, and it's going to get you on the United Wrestling Alliance homepage. We're on the internet, we're on the World Wide Web, and from there, it's endless. You can splice off.
So and on all the wrestlers' pages, Devastating Derek, Bombshell Billy, yourself, Benjamin, Halllifax the Third.
That's right.
The family. You can actually Metal Bob. You can actually email to their personal UWA accounts, and they will answer.
That's right.
I'm telling you, damn it, I watched them doing it.
Now I've gotten a letter recently from a little worm, sneaky little bastard, Jordan Torbett.
What did you call him? A sneaky what?
Nothing. Jordan Torbett.
Do you remember the fines?
Jordan Torbett
Yeah.
got my email address.
Oh, boy.
I don't know how that happened.
Myself,
Right on my
Mark
page.
Stagg, believe it or not, I don't know why Mark Stagg, but myself, Mark Stagg, have been invited up to your apple farm.
That's right. I invited you. I gave you a special personal invitation.
And we will be up there
Now, is he gonna
with the video
Is he
camera.
going to be bringing the whole family along?
I don't know. I don't know. I will
Bringing
be...
the family or the family?
I don't know, but the UWA has given me a
Shawnee,
lease
Bobby,
of a camera,
Biggie,
and I'm
or
going to
Joycey
tape...
Carmen. What?
What?
There's no tainted apple.
Who said tainted?
You said tainted.
Taint.
What
And
about the
taint-
taint?
Taint the... And taint the... You understand?
Maybe I don't want you coming up to Lafayette to my apple farm.
What are we going to show first here, Ben?
We got some big happenings. I'll tell you what we're going to show right now. Magoo, you got that tape ready? Magoo, we're going to roll right now. We are going to roll a tape of from... Look at this. Last week on UWA Ringmasters, with a pinky pumping in the ring.
Yeah.
After they defeated... McCracken defeated Dalton Payne. Look at this. All of a sudden, Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek decide they're going to take this into their hands, and they're going to hold a Mark Stagg here. Look at this.
And look at his two partners
Look at
desert
McCracken.
him and let him get his butt kicked. Well, Kraken finally comes in. Metal Bob nowhere to be found. I don't think his heart's in it.
Do not adjust your sets, fans. Do not adjust your TV sets. That's just McCracken's pants. And there you see, now watch this. Look at Metal Bob.
Oh.
Look at this right here. Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek now.
We're thinking, hey, they came out. They saved Dalton.
That's right. Look
That's
at
awful sweet of him.
Dalton putting his hand
How
out.
about a little handshake, Bombshell?
Bombshell saying, what's the matter with you? What do you think to Devastating Derek?
Derek says, yeah, I'll take your hand.
Look at that.
And I'll give you one of these, you stupid little
that.
bastard. Look at that.
That's what they're going to give him.
Right there. Look at him. Oh,
We hate everybody. He said.
Every mother in this place, Benjamin. I think
ain't
that
talking
says
about
it
my
all.
mother.
And quite frankly, everyone in the UWA hates them. Except for, well, Psycho Susan.
El Diablo Blanco. Well, who knows with that guy? He's
Yeah,
a worm.
That's what I'm saying.
He's in and out, up and down. You don't know what's going on
That's
with
what
him.
I'm saying.
He's in a candy machine. He's on a wall,
Yeah,
breaking into somebody's car.
sure. Who's mine?
Yours. That's what I'm saying. You gotta
Mine.
watch that guy. He's greasy.
He's greasy.
Yeah. I gave him a VCR to fix.
Okay. All right. I must have missed some here. The rolls are in the... Benjamin Halllifax, let's take you to some footage. The likes of which you're not going to believe. I don't think I'm even going to believe.
We're gonna go old school. We're gonna take you back years and years.
Get out the VCRs. We're going to give you a chance. Get a tape in right now. Pop a damn tape in. This is shots of Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek, Mark Stagg, Metal Bob. I'm talking about when they first started out, they were training. Some footage when they were still in high school, actually wrestling, practicing in the backyard. Some footage of a makeshift ring that they actually set up at a house that they all lived in together.
To practice on.
And when they weren't wrestling at the school, because they were at Kowalski School at that time, on the weekends, they were wrestling on this makeshift ring that they made to practice, and they're really going at it. They're beating the hell out of each other,
Oh, yeah.
even back then. And that shows me that these four, I don't know. And every footage I see of any conflict, we've got footage of an awards banquet from the UWA, the rookie, first, second years that these guys were in the business.
You can see it.
They get into a brawl, and it's Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek against Metal Bob, Mark Stagg.
And you see Metal Bob out there. You see Bombshell Billy out there, and you can see him. And you want to know what you can see the difference between then and now? They're fatter.
What? They're fed up with who?
They're fed up with everybody.
Wow. Let's take it to the first clip. I think you're going to enjoy this. Vanessa Del Rio. What? Benjamin. Look at this, Ben.
Hold on, I'm on the phone. Hold on. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Look at this footage!
Oh, gee, I gotta go. I'll call you later. Yeah.
Mark Stagg.
Man.
Metal Bob. Bombshell Billy. Devastating Derek. This is a makeshift ring that the unpredictable Johnny Rods set up for these men, for the young men to train in. When they're not at Killer Kowalski's school, they can come and use this out in the yard. Talk, Ben. It's not the greatest footage. It's old.
Look at this now.
Well, you get the idea.
Look at that. Bombshell Billy and Mark
Look at them
Stagg
going at
it. Little did we know that they would meet up, they would hook up
Some 11 years later?
in the United Wrestling Alliance for the Heavyweight Championship of the World.
Wow. Oh!
Again for the Heavyweight Championship of the World. Again,
Look at them.
in the biggest match of their careers.
Now this is an
Wrestletricity 2.
This is an interesting story that Bombshell told me about this. Now he told me that this was supposed to be kind of an exhibition. They weren't really supposed to go at it. They're all friends here at the school.
That's right, and Metal Bob.
But because Rods, Kowalski, and a couple other scouts were actually watching this, it broke loose.
Metal,
it really broke loose.
Right now, here's some interesting trivia that I found out. In this clip right here, Metal Bob starting out trying to perfect the Metal Bob gimmick. Didn't perfect it then. Now he has perfected it.
Yes.
But the Metal Bob persona, the whole being of Metal Bob with the mask, started it out right here.
Look at that! You're telling me that's just an exhibition, pal? He almost ripped Bombshell's arm off. They were saying Derek is livid. What the hell are you doing, pal? Come on back over here, Bombshell. These guys are for real. Metal Bob just waiting on him. This is what I'm talking about, though. Even in the past, it was always Bombshell and Devastating against Metal Bob and Mark Stagg. Even in the beginning, even in the early years. Look at Mark Stagg.
This isn't a match.
Right, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
an exhibition, so this is they have yet ever to face-to-face meet 2-on-2 in an actual match. This is exhibition here. These guys are all pals. They're all buddies here in this exhibition.
Again, I'm going to relate the story Bombshell told me. It started off as an exhibition. Oh, man! And because the scouts were watching and things, they started really getting a little serious in here. And I believe they didn't talk for about a week after this because they really start going at it hard. Smacking each other around, beating the hell out of each other like they're going to be at Wrestletricity too. Like it's a real match here. This is not supposed to be a real matchup. This is not a real professional wrestling match. This is an exhibition that they were putting on at the training, in the outside training.
Metal Bob was, has, and always will be an exhibitionist, so he is really putting on an exhibition here.
Devastating Derek pops across off the top rope. Look at this now. We have got all kinds of things. These are just clips that some of the boys have given us here. I'm not sure who this came from, but some of the footage from their wrestling school days. This is in Johnny Rods' backyard, believe it or not. I don't know if you remember the unpredictable Johnny Rods. You might be too young. See, there's not even a referee in there because this is supposed to be just an exhibition. They're practicing moves. They're supposed to be working on their psychology. But it really broke loose in that. Now, that's just some of the footage we have for you this week. But that's a taste of what we're going to talk about.
That's a taste of camp, of school.
Right.
Now we're going to show you a little later on. We're going to show you some of the talent contests, the practices that they had for these.
Right, and the four men involved in this have been watching thus far, and we're going to have some words with them.
That's right.
We're going to have some words with them.
As a matter of fact, are we going to go to that now, Magoo?
I guess.
We're going to try to get live via satellite hookups with, who's going to go? Who do we get first?
I think Ray Vassell. Is Ray Vassell standing by for the interviews, or?
I don't know. Let's go to it. Let's find out what we got.
More footage, Alexa, which you are not going to believe. Take a look at this. A brawl that happened at a UWA Awards banquet years ago.
That's right. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Mark Stagg getting bamboozled by Bombshell Billy.
And believe it or not, that's Metal Bob with a half mask on there. Look at them beating the hell out of Bombshell Billy. This is an awards banquet.
And there was Devastating Derek.
Third year into the business here.
There was Devastating Derek.
But I'll tell you right now, Ben, a match never took place out of this because shortly after this, the men went to different federations. Hard and Heavy went to CCW. Metal Bob was injured outside of the ring.
Moshing, I believe it was.
Yes. At the Lost Horizon.
Mark Stagg went on to...
Look at this, a pile driver with a UWA sign at the awards banquet. Please, Benjamin. Incredible.
Look at this, a light fixture being picked up by Devastating Derek.
In the background, we are playing some of the music that was around in the era that these tapes are from. The early 80s, the mid-80s. Choking him with the sign, Mark Stagg, Metal Bob, Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek.
Funny some of the things you see here. Look at some of the fashions back there, my God.
Look at the hair on Devastating Derek. He's got barely any. Look at Mark Stagg's hair. Short. Bombshell hair's longer there than it is now, though.
That's right.
Metal Bob's hair short. All different.
Well, there's Mark Stagg. He brought his date to the awards banquet.
Please. Saw Tina Turner in the hall. Mark Stagg cleaning house. And then he's choking Bombshell Billy.
Little Bob on top of Devastating Derek. This could very well be the scene at Wrestletricity 2.
Look at it. And then they leave the two men laying. They left them laying, Ben.
Unbelievable.
And speaking of the two men, we're going to go to Ray Vassell, who has them standing by.
Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek standing by.
No. Mark Stagg and Metal Bob.
Mark Stagg and Metal Bob standing by.
Yeah. Hard and Heavy, we can't find them yet. They're not on their side. I'm not sure where they are. There's all kinds of noises we're hearing over via satellite.
All right. Ray Vassell's going to talk to somebody, or are we doing this?
Yeah, Ray Vassell's in the production studio. Or no, Ray Vassell. Ray Vassell is going to be doing the Hard and Heavy interview. You and I will be doing the Mark Stagg Metal Bob interview.
All right, let's get to Mark Stagg and Metal Bob. Can we hook this satellite up, or what? What's going on here?
I think I hear the feed.
We got it. You heard
definitely
the feed?
got a different change.
You heard the feed?
I heard the feed.
All right.
Metal Bob and Mark Stagg standing by. Are you guys ready for your... What the...
What are you doing?
What?
McCracken, what are you doing there? And where's Metal Bob?
Don't you worry about Metal Bob has prior obligations. He's having last-minute surgery on his elbow.
What?
What?
Just to fix a few things in there so he can wrestle next week.
Please. Last-minute surgery.
I'm losing my voice. My shoulder's hurt.
What's he going to wrestle with a brace on, Perry Saturn?
Really? You've got to be kidding me.
Shawn McCracken out here for moral support for me.
Moral support? Are you two homeowners?
What? I don't think you said.
Do you own your own house, or where are you guys?
Of course I do.
All right.
I'm a little testy tonight watching this whole clip.
You're on what?
You're what? Watching what?
That's exactly. Okay.
Did you just say that you are a little testy today?
Yeah, I did.
I agree. MC Kraken, what are you doing there? And let's talk to you first. Let's talk to you about your big match against the Intercontinental TV Champion, El Diablo Blanco.
You know, I don't think I ought to be here for this interview. All right. Well, Benjamin,
Yeah.
as you saw last week, and I heard the comments after on how you were a fan of mine last week against Dalton Payne and congratulated me after the match.
That's right.
you, as well as I know, who the next Intercontinental Champion will be. It will be me.
Okay.
That is the only belt that has eluded me in my illustrious career here in the UWA, and it will elude me no longer.
Well, let me tell you something. Can I interrupt you just a second, MC Captain McCracken? You started out as a referee here in the United Wrestling Alliance, and you went on to become one of the top wrestler in the world, the World Heavyweight Champion of the United Wrestling Alliance. Now you are looking for, like you said, the one goal that eluded you here in the United Wrestling Alliance, the Intercontinental Television Championship. However, that is held by another tough man, another man that also held that World Heavyweight Championship. I believe the only man to hold the World, the Intercontinental TV, and the World Tag Team titles, El Diablo Blanco. What happened? What happened?
Because the man sitting to my right was the first man to hold all three belts here in the UWA.
Whoa.
Mark Stagg. You know it, brother.
All right,
Now,
well.
to answer your question, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Yes, El Diablo is a tough
I disagree
customer.
with that.
We've only wrestled, I believe, one time, and it was no stakes. We just wanted to see who the better wrestler was.
No stakes. We just said
But however, this time, he's got something I want. And when anybody has something that I want, you better be damn well sure that I'm going to get it.
All right.
Sorry,
MC
guys.
McCracken.
Mark Stagg.
Looking to be the triple champion. That's your goal for Wrestletricity 2.
That is my goal, guys.
Probably one of the second most important night in your life, next to winning the world title at Wrestletricity 2, to
Johnny
complete
Kielgood,
the three,
with no doubt,
the triple
in my
crown.
mind or your mind should be if I win this match without
Well, Bob's already got a double crown. You might as well have a triple crown.
I should get my mandatory rematch with Bombshell Billy. True or false?
Yes, that's
Okay.
coming up. I guarantee it.
Yeah, you better believe it. Go on
Okay.
to Mark Stagg.
Mark Stagg, are we boring you?
Yes, you are, as a matter of fact.
Oh, listening to your man talk?
No. Listen to you guys babble in the background.
He's the one that's
All
talking,
your
and we're not
brass,
babbling in
little
any
things
background.
there, little things there against the family.
Not against the family. What I want to talk to you about, Mark Staggers, right now. You've been sitting back there via satellite. We've been piping in India. I'm talking about the video feed. All right? You've been watching some of the old
Hey, you're
clips.
getting the BS on thick, we know it.
Please. You've been watching the old video clips. How does it make you feel watching your days, your rookie years? We've got more to come. Your rookie years.
Good. That's
Your,
why I'm a little upset right now. I'm
The
going
awards
back,
banquet for their second year in the
and I'm
Federation.
watching all these old footages, and I'm looking, and I'm seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
Mark Stagg's always getting attacked. It's always me.
Wait a minute. You're the one who came out against Bombshell Billy in the last clip
I
we saw.
had a little disagreement with Bombshell. I came out. He attacked me. You go back and you watch it.
And then Metal Bob came out and you double teamed him.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. He started it.
Oh, come on. You
Oh,
started.
yeah, what do you
He
think?
won the award that year and you came out.
Rules are in the...
Always. They're always saying about how Mark Stagg, he's a younger guy. He came up later. He always wanted to be like Bob.
You came up a year later. If it wasn't for these men blazing the trails, filling the potholes in that road.
Well, I'll tell you what. I went to
Please.
Bombshell's page. I'll admit it. Because I wanted to read what he had to say.
Right?
And he's talking about how I always wanted to be. He can't spell, yeah.
Hey! McCracken! You can't say that!
You better watch it, pal. Hey, Pastel! You listen to the language here. I hope you're fighting an ear off it.
Paper shit.
Yes.
Shit's made out of paper!
I'm right. I don't know what they're...
You better watch it.
Get
All right?
back to
I'll
what I was
cut this.
saying before I really totally lose my voice.
What's wrong with your
That's
voice?
good.
I'm sick. Is that okay?
What, have you been busy hawking your comic books and sports cards? You little shyster?
Anyways, that's what I was saying.
Making up your own book
We're
values?
listening for the third, fourth, 5,000th time.
Wow.
Devastating Derek Bombshell Billy always saying to Mark Stagg, oh, he was always jealous. He always wanted to be like them. He always wanted to do everything they
Now
did.
you're on Bombshell's page, not Devastating Derek that you're reading this on.
They both feel the same way. I've heard it from both.
Soft and mushy.
Anyways, it looks like to me every time I'm getting attacked. It looks like, for some reason, they want to be where I am. They want to put me down. They want to have what I have. Not the other way around.
What do you have?
I'm currently the tag team champion, and
By yourself?
What metal, Bob?
Oh. That champion.
That's a belt that these two men have held before, and I'm sure they want back again. But going back and thinking, well, back when it all started, who brought me together with these three men? And it was Metal Bob. And who was on my side now? Metal Bob.
You're just some spastic rudis.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that.
School with
Thinking
him.
back and thinking of the comments by Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek.
Hey, not devastating Derek, pal.
They both said it. I heard them both say it.
No.
They said, "Who's that little Spanish kid hanging out with Metal Bob?"
His name was not Metal.
Back then.
His name was not Metal Bob back then. It was just Bob. Come on, Mark Stagg.
That's Metal Bob.
You gotta be kidding me.
Anyways, and it all started back then, and that's why I'm a little upset right now.
You live 2 blocks from the school and you got driven every day. You ought to be ashamed of
Think
yourself.
about how, from day one,
All right, I wanna.
these 2 men had something against me.
All right. All right. Okay.
Well, let's take you back to the good times, Mark Stagg. I've done my research. Let's take you back to the good times. Let's take you back to when you are all
Good
the 4
times
of you
gone
were
bad.
together. All the 4 of you were together. There were good times at the camps, at the trips to the grandfather's house,
Philadelphia,
Philadelphia,
New York City.
ice football in the road.
What's your point? That was then, this is now.
So
all you're
multiple-
doing is dwelling on the bad stuff, Mark Stagg. What about the good
I'm saying
stuff?
How it's led up. How it's led to this point. I'm saying they've always been on my back. They've always wanted to be where I want to be.
Are you sure you haven't always wanted to be where they are, Mark Stagg?
I'm positive. You go.
You keep it out of this, McCracken. This is personal business. You were about 5 when this took place.
For each other.
All right. Any further?
Mark Stagg, what makes you so bitter? What makes you so bitter?
Do it.
Say it. Say
Don't
it.
Don't give
I'll
a
say one thing.
I'm going down deep into your soul, Mark Stagg. What makes you so bitter?
All I have to say is one thing. Since I've been around, and every time I've been champion, whether it be the world title, the TV title, another tag team title, you gotta go around saying, well, it's because of this, it's because of that. Why I'm champion. They can't just say, well, because Mark Stagg, he's a great wrestler. He deserves that shot. He deserves to be there. No. It's always, oh, it was a fluke. It was this reason. It was that reason. But then, when they win, and they use outside interference, they cheat, then it's, oh, it's got to be what you got to do is what you got to do. And then it's all right. There's a couple of hypocrites, that's all I got to say.
Mark Stagg on the eve, if you will, 1 week before a match where you are going to be going into the ring
And Johnny Kielgood?
with your former 3 best friends on this earth. You've stood by one another for many, many years. And I want to ask you something, Mark Stagg. Devastating Derek told me that one time you told him you always knew that no matter what happened between the 4 of you, you'd always be there for each other. That's all changed now, Mark Stagg. And you're going into this match to fight 2 of your former best friends that you grew up with. Mark Stagg, how do you feel 1 week before this contest?
Well, I'll tell you, I was saying, watching these old tapes, I've been thinking back about things that have happened. Yeah, Devastating Derek was there when I had my problems, and he left, and I left, and he found me. And he brought me back to UWA.
Yes,
He said,
did.
come on back. And at that point, he was on my side. But as things progressed and things went on, and different people held different belts, things started to change a little bit. A little different here and there. Bombshell Billy, he turned his back on Devastating Derek. Turned his back on this man. Next thing you know, Devastating Derek, things are changing. He says, Mark Stagg, he puts his friendship on the side. He says, I gotta go for this belt, I gotta go for that belt. And he ain't there to back me up. He ain't there anymore. This man right here comes along and says, Mark Stagg, I'll back you up, I'll be there for you. And I'll tell you what, After that, we'll get Metal Bob. He's always been there for you. You've always been there for him. You picked him up off the Lost Horizon when he blew out his knee, and you took him to the hospital. We know about it. You know Metal Bob's always there. You've always respected Metal Bob. Through the thick and through the thin, no matter what's been going on, you've always had respect for him. And he has respect for you no matter what's happened. So let's bring him in. Let's form an even tighter knit unit than Hard and Heavy. And that's exactly what we've done.
Now, gentlemen, I have to ask you, where does Mr. Big
Don't worry
fit?
about Mr. Big. I tell you this every single week. You ask me about Mr. Big, Mr. Big, Mr. Big. Don't worry about him. He'll be there at Wrestletricity 2.
He better be. He's got a match.
If he doesn't,
Against that little...
what can we tell you? And in closing, Johnny, like I was trying to say,
Yes.
Psycho Susan got one up on me.
Oh, please,
With
don't
Bombshell
start
Billy.
that can of worms.
If she thinks she's going to
Don't hurt.
get two up on us and take the World Tag Team belts, she got another thing coming.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Gentlemen, best of luck to you. MC Cracken, best of luck to you and your Intercontinental TV Championship goals. Mark Stagg, all I have to say to you...
Pencil it in. This man's new champion.
Mark Stagg, all I have to say to you is, next week at Wrestletricity 2, you're in for one hell of a battle because not only are you gentlemen fighting for a match, you're fighting for gold, but you're fighting for pride, for friendship,
It's neighborhood bragging rights.
for everything it stands for.
It's the Eden Lane against the other two.
It's like, I don't understand.
It's a shame, if you ask me, Mark Stagg, that it had to come down to this, but it does come down to this. All right,
They started it. They
let's
wanted
not
it.
start that
Wanted to
again.
finish it.
Let's not start. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. We'll see you next week. Benjamin
Wow.
Halllifax.
You gotta be
third.
kidding me, Kielgood. Mark Stagg, and
He is bitter.
he's very bitter. Very bitter.
When
Yeah,
we-
I gotta give him credit. I gotta say this. He gave a lot of valid points.
So he did.
And
They've all
valid
got their
arguments-
valid points in
Valid
there.
arguments, valid points.
I think it's a lack of communication myself, it seems like.
All right.
We could talk about it until our flies come undone, but the point is that when we return, Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek have been listening in this whole time. Ray Vassell's in Productions of Studio Number 2 with Satellite Link 2. We're going over to him when we return from this Wrestletricity commercial. Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek, and from what I've heard right now, they are livid. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Ray Vassell, and I got a live feed with Devastating Derek and Bombshell Billy, the World Heavyweight Champion. And who's the lovely lady you have there, fellas?
Lovely lady here is our housekeep, Sasha. How you doing, Sasha? Good, good.
Hello, Sasha.
She's here to be seen and not heard. Because we, Hard and Heavy, Bombshell Billy, the World Heavyweight Champion, Devastating Derek, the Giant Killer, have something to say. Because earlier on, we're watching the live feed, we're watching the live broadcast of the UWA Ringmasters, and we're hearing the jaw-jacking going on by Mark Stagg and the missing in action Metal Bob elbow surgery. Yeah. Let me tell you where he is. He's in some parking lot of some poor... Forget it. Forget it.
Let's keep it a family show, Billy.
It's a family show. They like to think it's the family show. But come Wrestletricity 2, it's not going to be a family show because we're going to show the family why we are the best tag team in the world today, why we are Devastating Derek and Bombshell Billy. We're going to just make these names up, okay? We earned them.
13 years in the making, fellas. A lot of past friendships broken.
A lot of things happening in the 13-year friendship of Metal Bob, Mark Stagg, Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek. Mark Stagg shooting off at the mouth, spewing a lot of false statements, spewing a lot of gibberish, spewing a lot of gaga. Am I right, Sasha?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who think that both sides of the groups have justified points.
I don't hear any points coming from that side.
No.
I don't hear a damn point. First of all, Mark Stagg comes out here and says, from the beginning, it was Metal Bob and me. He brought me in. He did this. He did that. He did whatever. Well, let's not forget about the time Metal Bob threw out his arm playing football. Ambulance came to take him out of the neighborhood. Mark Stagg was the only representative of the four of us with him. He wouldn't ride in the ambulance with him. He wouldn't go with him. He wouldn't support him. He wouldn't stand by him. Keep that in mind. And that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning, Mark Stagg. You want to talk about how you and Bob have forged this friendship, how you and Bob have done this, done that. It was always you two who respected each other through this whole thing. What about when you took off for 2 years on the rest of us? How about that? Who was the first one to welcome you back with open arms? It wasn't Metal Bob. It was Devastating Derek. It was Devastating Derek. You came to my house. You hung out with me and my girl. Not Metal Bob. I brought you back into the fold after you deserted us. You let us down. Now don't talk about Metal Bob, don't you dare. When you turned your back on me, Mark Stagg, you turned your back on 13 years of friendship. And I won't even start with Metal Bob. I'm going to let you start with Metal Bob, and I'll finish.
I'll start with Metal Bob. Metal Bob, you and I have seen eye to eye. We've seen totally different views on a lot of things. Metal Bob, you and I, you want to shoot, I'll shoot with you. You and I, up to a very, very short time ago, we were roommates, okay? Yeah, we had our differences in the past. But this past year, we were roommates because we lived together for I don't know how many years. But we were roommates once again for a very short time recently, yeah. We're that close. We're like brothers, okay? And then all of a sudden, one day, Metal Bob gets greedy. His greedy little hand comes out and says, hey, yeah, that's right. Mark Stagg, everything Mark Stagg says must be gospel. Right, Mark Stagg did help me in that ambulance. He did ride with me. That's right. That's right, Mark Stagg. Oh my God, he did help me when I hurt my
clouding of the issues.
That's right. So Metal Bob is clouded over. Metal Bob is snowed to the fact that Mark Stagg is a weasel, and all he did was con Metal Bob coming to the family as a tool against Hard and Heavy. Metal Bob, you're not thinking straight, brother. I'm not trying to give you some sob story, some staff come back to us thing, because it's way past that, pal. It's way past that. What I'm trying to say here is, Metal Bob, I know you, and Devastating Derek knows you better than anyone in this world right now, Metal Bob. We know what you're thinking. We know why you're doing it. Greed. Jealousy. It's a shame, Metal Bob. It's a shame that you throw this away all for that. Look around you, Metal Bob. What do you have? Look around you. What do you have? Look here. Look what you left behind.
You can say it to Mark Stagg in the same exact way. And let me tell you another thing, Metal Bob. 22 years. 22 years. This past week, September, you and I met for the first time. 22 years ago, Bear Road Elementary School. You and I were friends longer. Most people that we know and we deal with in this business have been alive. 22
years. Through thick and through thick.
Devastating Derek, do you think after 22 years, I mean after all is said and done, you can ever forgive?
Forgive? Forgive Metal Bob? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, I am.
Is that what he's asking me?
I think that's what he's asking me.
Could I ever forgive Metal Bob?
The
I
same
don't think
question
so.
goes for you,
So let me tell you why.
Billy.
Bombshell and Metal Bob have been friends for some
Bob, you did a lot.
14 years. I know Metal Bob 22 years of my life. Alright? You want to get a little wishy-washy? Cub Scouts? Boy Scouts? Elementary school? Middle school? All of us together. Middle school and high school. Okay? But you and I, elementary school and middle school. Okay? We forged a relationship before there was a Bombshell Billy, before there was a Mark Stagg. We brought him in just as strong. I was 13, 14 years old when I met this man. I was 5 years old when I met him. It hurts. But you know what I'm going to do with that anger? And this is what Bombshell sat down and told me when I got back from Mexico. I didn't believe him. And he thought I knew about it. He thought I knew what was going on the whole time. I didn't have a damn idea what Metal Bob was up to. But I'm going to tell you what. After it all took place, I sat a broken man in the locker room by myself. And Bombshell gave me my space. And when the time was right, he came up to me and he said, "Devastating Derek, let me tell you something. You take that anger, you take that sadness, you keep it right there inside. Don't let it out. Don't vent it. Don't talk to Ray Vassell about it." How many times did you try to get me to talk about it, Ray Vassell? How many times?
Oh, plenty.
And I haven't. But now I'm ready to vent. 1 week. In the ring, I will vent against you. Metal Bob.
Well, Devastating Derek, they say, you know, if you keep going an eye for an eye, pretty soon you have a group of blind people.
I don't mind having a group of blind people if I don't have to watch all the backstab. I'd rather be blind than watch my best friends stab me in the back, talk about me behind my back, not be there when I need them, and when I need them most of all, to drop my head across a rope and snap me back, and snap 22 years of friendship right onto the floor.
Mark Stagg, you mentioned in your gibberish, in your rumblings, in your ramblings, what about Bombshell Billy? He turned his back on you, Devastating Derek. Well, Devastating Derek and I have this special bond, Mark Stagg, that maybe you just don't understand. Maybe that's why you just can't fit in. You just never could make it, Mark Stagg, because no matter how many times or what happened down the bumpy road that myself and Devastating Derek went, this gold's been here. It's been here. It was there before. But you see this right here? You see this right here? It doesn't matter. It's out of the picture, Mark Stagg. No matter how bumpy the road was, here you see sitting before you, Devastating Derek, Bombshell Billy, a unit, close, tight as ever, and not only are we tight as ever, but we are now on a mission, Mark Stagg. We're on a mission against you and against the man you tore away from us, Metal Bob. And you could bring your Mr. Biggs, you could bring your MC Psycho Shawn Lackey McCrackens, it doesn't matter. Because Metal Bob, Mark Stagg, come Wrestletricity, we're going to show you why We are the best tag team in the world, and we're going to show you, and we're going to prove to you why all this jealousy that you have, all this whining and crying, I explained it all on the webpage. It's invalid. All you have to know, Mark Stagg and Metal Bob, is keep your eyes wide open at Wrestletricity 2. Because you think you have anger, you think you have pain inside, Mark Stagg, whining and crying out here? You think this man doesn't feel the pain? You think I don't feel the pain? You're going to feel the pain. You're going to understand exactly how we feel. So boys, at Wrestletricity 2, keep your eyes wide open. Keep your eyes wide open, gentlemen. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know.
And MC McCracken, don't you dare. Don't you ever stick your nose in to this business. This goes back to when you were scrubbing pots down at the local supermarket. You shut your mouth, you open your eyes, and you learn what real men are like when they get in the ring. Because this is something you'll never know. This is something you'll never have. And this is something you can't comprehend. A lot of the fans out there will never comprehend what's going to take place in 1 week. It's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than the UWA. We've got families that have been together. We're talking parents and parents. I'm talking Metal Bob's parents were like my parents. His parents were like my parents. My parents were like their parents. It was one giant family. It's bigger than the UWA right now, boys. It's so much bigger. It's so much bigger. And I don't know if you can comprehend, I don't know if I can relay to the fans out there exactly what's going to take place in 1 week. But we're going to be shut down for 1 week's time. Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek, Psycho Susan, Sasha, closed in. Doors shut, no phones, no nothing for 1 week. And when we come out on Friday, next Friday, and head to that ring, it'll be the first time the public will see us in 7 days. What's going to be going on behind these doors? You can't comprehend.
Well, Bombshell Billy, going back to the question I asked you before, do you think, well, obviously you and Derek had your wars, and you made it through it, but the same goes as for Metal Bob and Stagg. You ever think that you will ever forgive them, or have a chance to?
I have a chance to forgive Mark Stagg. Let me tell you something. To forgive Mark Stagg, no. I don't think I could ever forgive Mark Stagg. He's the kind of guy that just likes to run his mouth and keep running it and keep running it. And as long as he's hanging around with lackeys like McCracken, I don't know. I've always said that since this whole situation arose that Mark Stagg is jealous, is intimidated, and he wants to be hard and heavy. He wants to be close to us. He wants to be just like us. So what does he do? He goes out and aligns himself with the lackey, the guy who wants to be Bombshell Billy. MC Crack. Makes sense to me, right? Aligns himself up with MC, Magtastic, Flunky, Lackey, Sucky, McCracken.
What they've done here is assemble a group of people that think they know everything about us. Metal Bob, Mark Stagg, known us since we were kids. MC McCracken traveled with this man for a year. Okay? So what they think is that they've got a group together that's going to know everything about us, be able to get into our heads, be able to get into our souls, professionally and personally. But guess what? I barely got a heart. Barely got a heart. And what little heart I have left is stone cold. Doesn't bother me, boys.
So to answer your question, Ray Vassell, no. No, I don't think I could ever forgive these guys. It's been too much. Too much has happened. Too much has gone by, Ray Vassell. So now it's time to pay the piper, so to speak. Little Bob, Mark Stagg. How do they say? You made your bed. Now lie in it.
And speaking of making beds, Sasha's got that certain look in her eye that tells me it's time to kick your asses out of here,
Please, gentlemen, please.
lock the doors, get Psycho Sue in, and the four of us are going to go into heavy, heavy training.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking.
You can't comprehend this. Goodbye, Vassell.
No, Bob.
Remember?
Look what you passed up here. Look what you passed up here. Look at this.
Thank you,
Look
gentlemen.
at this.
Thank you for conducting this interview with me, and always a pleasure to talk with you folks. Take care.
Hey.
Goodbye, Sasha.
Thank you, Ray Vassell. Wow, who is that Sasha character?
I don't know. I'll take her down.
What?
Downtown dancing and stuff, you know.
Write to us at United Wrestling Alliance, P.O. Box 54, North Syracuse, New York, 13212. Or email us at ringmasters@webtv.net.
Or you can get us on the World Wide Web via the home web page. Are you kidding me? www.angelfire.com/little Ring. That UWA Ring is in all capitals to get on that home page of the United Wrestling Alliance. And off that page, as if there's not enough information on that page, Kielgood, you got your column on that page?
On the UWA page.
That's right. Let me tell you this.
Rumor Mill.
You can link on to Devastating Derek's page, Bombshell Billy's page, Metal Bob's page, the Family Chronicles, and
House of Halifax.
the most important one, the House of Halifax.
Most important, please. Most tainted, like your apples.
You want to go to that one right away? Just www.angelfire.com/ny/Halifax. HALIFAX. All capitals on that, Halifax. But I definitely encourage you to go to every one of them. United Wrestling Alliance home pages. And as we brought up earlier, at the bottom of each and every one of those, you can email to the personal addresses
Of the athletes. The UWA has set up
That's right.
personal accounts for each of the athletes.
So what I'm saying to you right now is you can
has their own
email
page.
Benjamin Halifax. And I want to see those letters coming in.
There are
I love
Yes.
Benjamin Halifax.
We're going to give the results of that. We've got the results almost tallied up. We're going to give those at Wrestletricity 2 next week.
Do we?
Also, if that's not enough for you, Benjamin, on the web pages are pictures.
That's right.
All kinds of things. There's a picture on there right now of Bombshell Billy, Devastating Derek, Metal Bob, Mark Stagg. An interesting picture of those four from a couple of years back.
And let me tell you something. I got breaking news. I'm going to break it right now, right here on the show.
Oh.
Coming up this week on the House of Halifax,
Yeah.
my personal webpage.
Yeah.
I'm going to be having an exclusive
You
interview.
gotta be kidding.
An exclusive interview with a former United Wrestling Alliance star. An exclusive interview, and it's going to be no holds barred candid right there on the House of Halifax.
Wow. That ought to be interesting. You gotta go to the webpage to get it, though.
That's right.
Any interview's done.
That's right. We're not
And
going
House
to
of Halifax, UWA page, or anywhere else has to be.
we're
on
not
the
going to tell you
World
about it
Wide
here.
Web.
We can't tell you any more about it here. You got to go to the webpage
Yeah.
and find out.
Because Ray Vassell has censored us here, but he can't censor anyone.
Oh no, he
on
can't
the
censor
World
anyone
Wide
on the World
Web.
Wide Web. No way. You kidding me? Some of the links, some of the pages I come up with late at night.
What?
The Jeopardy. You can play Jeopardy online and stuff.
Oh,
I'm talking about.
please. Are you kidding me, Benjamin? You are a vile human being.
Well, one more week. The Immortal One Bubba does not make an appearance. I'm telling you, we're going to get that video on there of the Immortal
Once
One
again,
Bubba.
I have pushed it to the side. What do we got coming up next week? We know about the main event. We've heard from all factions. We took this opportunity, yes, to promote the big main event mostly on this card. But the whole card shapes up like this. In the Intercontinental Television Championship matchup, El Diablo Blanco puts his title on the line against Psycho Shawn McCracken. Now McCracken, this is his shot at being a Triple Crown. All 3 titles he will hold if he can win this. So that's very important to him.
Indeed. Also, Dalton Payne, the former Intercontinental TV champion himself, a man I don't think very highly of, takes on the returning Mr. Big.
Oh my, teeing off. If that's not enough for you, the legendary team of the Thunder and Tiger and the Mystic make their return. The former tag team champions held those tag team titles longer than any team in the UWA, besides maybe Hard and Heavy. They are going out against the newcomers, Talent, Chameleon, the Predator.
That's right, the Predators, an up-and-coming team. These guys are something else.
They are something else.
And then there was one.
Oh my.
The main event for Wrestletricity 2 next week here on this cable station. The match it took 13 years to make.
And we're not exaggerating. You saw by the footage.
Mark Stagg and Metal Bob head-to-head, face-to-faceless freak with Bombshell Billy and Devastating Derek, the team known as Hard and Heavy.
And tall enough. Don't think we've forgotten about your MOB shenanigans. Ray Vassell and Douglas Michael are in conference about that video footage.
I got a question.
We'll have more on that.
So next week at Wrestletricity,
yeah,
is Psycho Sue going to be there? Is Sasha going to be there?
I don't know.
I hope so.
Well, I'll bet you do.
Yeah.
That's a big pairing right there.
That's right. And
nice pairing, those 2 of them together.
That's right. And Psycho Sue
all
will
4
be
of
there.
them, really.
Exactly. Right.
Bombshell, Devastating,
Exactly.
Sasha, Sue.
Right. Right.
Wow.
H and S&S.
You got it.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, DSM, my friend. To you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you next week. Wrestle Just 2 bigger.
Better.